Well, as we've been talking about, Donald Trump has said he will impose at least a 10% tariff on all foreign goods going into the United States, though the finance minister does believe there are reasons why Canada should be spared that.
We know that our trading relationship with the United States is strong and mutually beneficial. The unique position that Canada has with the U.S. as a trading partner is based on the reality that we are the most important export market for the United States by a long shot. Canada is a bigger export market for the United States than China, Japan, the UK, and France combined. Think about that for a minute.
Well, for more on this, we have reached out to Beth Burke. She is the CEO of the Canadian-American Business Council, joins us right now in Milwaukee. Beth Burke, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So here we have Donald Trump making this promise of a 10% tariff to every country that trades with the United States. How serious do you think this threat is? Do you think it will be universally applied?
You know, I'm not sure. I think all we can do right now is take him at his word, but also do everything we can to be prepared to share the story about how this isn't a path where anyone wins. Tariffs are not good for the relationship and good for the economy here. So we hope that that case can be made and he will steer away from putting a tariff on our allies.
Mm-hmm. So what is happening then to try to convince him of that? I'm wondering about the outreach that's taking place right now.
Yeah, I mean, conversations are obviously happening. I think the most important thing we can do is share the stories, right? President Trump is a man who likes to win. So showing the case that partnering with Canada is a win for the U.S. is really important right now. I think there's no better instance or example of that than critical minerals. President Trump is very focused on decoupling from, more problematic partners, and Canada has a lot of capacity that the U.S. just doesn't have at current. So if we can find ways to show this interconnectivity and availability to partner, maybe that'll be a way to show him that a win to partner with Canada is a win for the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Now, how quickly do you think he'll actually move on the tariff? I know he's promising it's job number one, but does that mean we're going to see it by the spring?
Unclear. I think he has a long list for day number one jobs. So we'll see how it unfolds. I think one of the things a lot of people have paid a lot of attention to is the presidential race, and rightfully so. However, it is important to note that Congress has a lot of new members as well. There are 12 new senators and at least 50 new House members. These members have a say in how policy unfolds. And so cultivating and educating those new members about the importance of our interconnectivity will be pivotal as we go forward.
Mm-hmm. Pivotal, as you say, and it's important because tariffs is one thing, but we're also headed towards 2026 when CUSMA or the USMCA will be reviewed. Donald Trump says he wants to actually renegotiate that altogether. What do you see as the irritants for Donald Trump when it comes to trade with Canada?
Well, I think, they're sort of the usual suspects. Softwood lumber, dairy are always issues. But I think there are a small list of sort of hurdles, or I wouldn't rise to the level of irritants, but issues that could be addressed and taken care of now, right? There is a few items that the U.S. has listed off as issues, including the digital service tax that U.S. sees as discriminatory and its retroactive nature as problematic. So if Canada can take some initiative and clear the deck a bit to leave the way for a easier negotiation, all the better.
Clear the deck, as you say, at this point. So what else would be your advice right now to Canadian officials as they gear up for this second term for Donald Trump?
Well, I think outreach is always important. The current government has been doing a great job of reaching out. I think that also needs to continue across the entire country at not just the federal level, but also provincial. There are important relationships that will help propel policies forward. The more people can understand how the economic opportunities with Canada and U.S. partnership benefit their district, their state, the country at large, will be helpful as we look at the list of possible issues in front of us.
Okay, well, we are watching both our officials and yours at this point. Beth, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Beth Burke.